Guys, Rome with Roma here. I'm starting to make more videos on the cuff just because I'm trying to maximize my ROI and actually feel like these videos that I provide while I'm actually doing something provide a lot more value for you because they're me actually going out in the world running my business. So to start this video out, this is a manual that I made for my virtual assistant. So it has all the instructions laid out for her, and she's going to fix my stranded inventory. I spent an hour and 20 minutes talking to seller support, Jeff Bezos, his virtual assistant. I spent an hour and a half talking to his virtual assistant this morning over in the Philippines and figuring this out. But I wrote it out. This is how it works. This is exactly how you unstrand inventory. Anyway, the purpose of this video is to get into how to use team mode ScoutIQ, and I don't think a lot of people are really doing this right yet. So this video is going to show you. I actually just got a text message. This is an example from a lady, Leanne, from Facebook. I don't even know where she's located. It doesn't matter because she's going to ship them to my lister's house, and my lister's going to list all the books that she finds for me. So she's another reseller. Let's get into it. So Scout, I always feel like some weird shit's going to come up when I start typing on my computer. I'm always scared. I never know what it would be, but you never know. Okay, so I'll go ahead and log in. Okay, so this is really cool because I'm going to give her my login information, but not to my parent account. That was to my parent account. So if you guys can guess a 5-digit or five, it's not digits, 5-character password, have at it. Have at my ScoutIQ account. But she's actually going to get a different login, and that's the beauty of team mode. So here's my team. I'll show you guys my team real quick. Romer, Adrian, and Kyle. Now the thing is, it's called team, and it's supposed to be you're supposed to have Kyle's supposed to be over in Connecticut crushing it and blah, blah, blah. But this is how I use ScoutIQ. I have 3 accounts, and I have probably an average of 9 people use it a week. I'm just going to be honest. 3 accounts is about what I need for it not to get overwhelmed because they will log you out. So if I log in a Romer and then I have Kyle in Connecticut log into my Romer account, when we both do live lookups, it's going to force log each other out. So 3 for me is the minimum I can have without me wanting to blow my brains out, because after a while you keep getting force logged out and it's really annoying. So 3 accounts that's usually that's the maximum number of people we have out sourcing for us at once. But sometimes it goes more, and when that happens, we either have to add an account temporarily or get creative with it. Someone might be using the Amazon seller app for a day. So right now, I think I'm going to have her use Kyle. I don't even know why it's called Kyle. Okay. It's interesting. First name Deborah. So yeah, I like to personalize these for people, especially if it's their first time doing it. So we're going to make this for Leanne. She's not going to be able to see first her last name, but she will be able to see the username. So Leanne will be her username, and we can make the password whatever I want to right there. So now that's updated for her. Okay. So that's part 1. Now we have these 3 accounts, and all this is like the login. Do I want it to be on hidden mode or not? She's another reseller. We should probably have her see the profits. And so hidden mode, I like to use hidden mode depends on what kind of person I'm dealing with. If I'm dealing with a friend of mine who I just want to go out and grind and I want him to scan 5,000 books a day, I might just put him on hidden mode and be like, look, dude, anything that turns green, throw in here. And some people are like that already. Some people don't even they see all these numbers and shit, whatever, turn green, it's good. But sometimes I don't want people to be able to see the profits for various reasons. I think we all know, obviously, it's some people are wait, you're making $100 off this and you're paying me $2? That can definitely cause some trouble. But I think a lot of times it's good to have people on full mode. So we're going to change this one to full mode. She's a reseller. I want her to be able to see everything. I want her not to send me negative profit stuff. And she probably knows how to read. She uses Scoutly. She uses the other app. But I don't know. I don't think Scoutly has team mode yet. ScoutIQ is always coming out with better shit first, and then Scoutly's pretty fast at catching up. So the two apps go head to head, and they make each other better. So I'm thankful for both. Default trigger set, we're going to put. So these are all my trigger sets. I actually go in and change these trigger sets sometimes. So Gaylord is going to be any set or any. It's a set of triggers where the first four, and I can show you guys. I'll show you guys how I make triggers in a second. But basically, we accept dollar profit books and Gaylords, and I recommend you guys do too. And these are for found books that are in front of you, books that you already have in your possession. You might as well send them in if they make you dollar profit, if they have a decent rank. So if they have a decent rank and they're dollar profit, we send them in. At a certain point, we start making the profit requirements a little bit higher. I'll get into all that in when we break down the triggers in a second. But I have a bookstore near me called McKay's. So it's got his own trigger set. Rakin, that's actually Rakin Profit. One time me and him went in on a deal together, and I made the triggers. I pimped out the triggers for Rakin Profits. No big deal. And then Andrew, I've actually fucked up one of these. Andrew's probably watching this right now. Shout out Andrew Froderman. Does a good job. He sources books for $3 profit. I pay him $3 per book, and I made these trigger sets for him. So it's got to make me profit, and it's got to make him profit in order for it to make sense. So, and then there's a ScoutIQ default triggers. So in this case, I want Leanne to use, since me and Rakin aren't doing the deal anymore, I can make a new trigger set for Leanne, but I'm just going to use Rakin for right now, and I'll just change these triggers. So update user, and now this will update for her. She hasn't downloaded the app yet, so it's automatically going to update for her when she downloads it. But this is if someone's outsourcing for you and you're like, oh fuck, I forgot to update my triggers. What you can do is you can go in and change the trigger, and whenever they do a live search, it'll update it. So I'm going to go to triggers. And so this is a really cool video, and this is just me talking while I'm navigating. But like, this is actually what I was about to do. So I like making videos like this because now I'm like killing two birds with one stone. I am actually making triggers for Leanne, and at the same time, I'm showing you guys how I use team mode. So and now we can set triggers for DVDs, VHS. And I'm actually about to do that for her because she has a bunch of DVDs that she wants to send me. I sell DVDs for people on consignment. I sell restricted inventory. And the restricted inventory I sell is DVDs, CDs, video games, which you guys should be able to sell video games anyway, and DC comics. A lot of people can't sell those. I'll also sell textbooks. That's my biggest one. A lot of people are restricted in popular textbooks. I will sell those for you. So triggers, I'm going to keep in mind that she's going to have to ship these to me. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's just change all these to 4. And I recommend anyone going into thrift stores to have a $4 target profit too. Now, $4, people are like, what if it's $3.95? Well, fucking make it $3.95 then. Like some people are like, well, I'll actually take it. I'll eyeball it just in case it's $3.87. I'm like, well, if that's your, like, what's really your cutoff? Like, what's really cut off? Because make it that, like, whatever it is. And I think $3.87 is mine. So I'm going to make it $3.87. Because it's literally going to turn red if it's $3.86 now. So you got to think, what's truly your cutoff? So first two are going to be $3.87. And Caleb Roth, the creator of this app, did a wonderful job of really thinking these triggers out. These last 3 say yes here. That means they're auto going to reject anything. Is it auto going to reject? Always reject. Yes, it's always going to reject anything over 6 million. So, yeah. Like if I had for my Gaylord triggers, I'd probably still accept 6 to 10 million, just in case there's like a $50 book out there. But yeah, everything else is, he really thought this out, and he's a smart guy, so I trust him. Like 3 to 6 million, $20 profit, sure. 2.1 to 3 million, $10 profit sounds good to me. The used slot we're comparing to number 2. Yeah, so like he really sat down and thought these out. So like I've changed a few things about it depending on like the scenario, and I think the scenario really depends on, are the books in front of you? Do you have the books already in your possession? Are you just going to throw the books away if you don't do anything with them? In that case, dollar profit. But if you're going out and you're either doing a consignment with someone and they're going to be shipping the books to you, you got to think of the inbound shipping fees. That's going to eat up a lot of the profits. And if you're going out like most people and paying a couple bucks for a book at a thrift store, it's really got to make sense to make you profit. And I think for thrifting people, $4, $3.87. See, if you guys did $4 profit, I'm going to come in at $3.87. I'm going to pick up all the books that are 13 cents cheaper than the ones you wouldn't take. So I think there is some value to looking at the screen, but at the same time, I think I'd blow my brains out if I was always looking at that screen. I'm an audio cue guy. I mean, the way I look at it, if it's a truly good book, like a truly profitable book, it's going to ding. A lot of people disagree with me on that, but yeah, sure, I'm leaving some stuff on the table by not looking at the screen, but I think I'm really not leaving stuff on the table because I have so much more energy to negotiate. I have so much more energy to make videos. I would literally drain my willpower if I was looking at that screen all day. So willpower is a real thing. You run out of it eventually. Okay, so I'm open to suggestions for this one. Let's see what we can do here. So this is for the category CDs, I believe. Wow, it's taking a while. That was a glitch. Oh, and buy cost. I didn't address that. In this case, I'm going to put 0 because the books are right in front of Leanne right now. But in the case where me and Raken were going in on the deal, I think we thought the average buy cost might be around $1, but it turned out to be actually a little bit cheaper. So DVDs, create new trigger. Minimum E-score 1. I don't even know if E-score is available for DVDs. I don't think it is. I'm just going to enter that. So this is really bad, but I don't know much about DVDs. I know 100,000 is supposed to be equivalent to 1 million. So I'm just going to enter 100,000. So I'm only going to have one trigger for now. I will change this in the future. I'll probably make a video on exactly what triggers I decide to use with DVDs, but let's make this $4. Now, if these were in front of me in my house, I put $1 profit for this one, but I'm looking for anything between 1 and 100,000, and I want it to be at least $4 profit. That's it. VHS, we'll do the same thing. I'm pretty sure they can't see E-score. E-score is so much better than rank, and ScoutIQ is the one to come up with that number, where ScoutLeague came in second with that. And arguably, ScoutLeague was the first app, so ScoutIQ copied ScoutLeague. But the fact that ScoutIQ made E-score, it tells you how many times a book had at least one day with a sale in the last 6 months. So who cares what the rank is at that point? That's a much more valuable demand metric than rank. What does rank even mean? We don't really know. If a book sells one day and the book was a 14 million ranked book and it sells, it automatically drops down to 100,000. Automatically. In that moment, it's 100,000. So if you download your database right after that book sold it's going to say 100K for that book. So when you go out and scan, it's going to think it's a really high demand book. But in reality, the e-score is only 1 because a 14 million ranked book probably hasn't sold in a year or two. So e-score is a much better metric. There's sometimes you'll scan books with 5 million ranked that's got a couple e-score. That's a good book. If it's got a couple e-score and it's above $50, hell yeah, pick that up. For profit for VHS, we'll do 4 as well. And I guess I really didn't go over what the FBA slot is. Let's see here. Just so you guys know, it's hard to do 2 things at once. Is that right? Yeah. I might need to go back. So I always want to, I'm an FBA seller, so we're prime sellers. I'm sure almost all you guys are prime sellers. We want to compete against prime offers. That's all that matters. People buy prime or they buy merchant. It's one or the other. And if you are a prime seller, you're more likely to win the buy box. Now, this doesn't mean that prime sellers sell more items than regular sellers. It just means you're more likely to win the buy box. So you're more likely to have like your face up front if you're the lowest FBA offer. So let's go back here and make sure. So I'm going to compare against FBA slot 1. So I'm just going to look at the lowest prime offer, which is worst case scenario FBA. What's it going to go for? Is this going to cause some funky shit to happen? Maybe, because what if the FBA offers $1,000 and it's a $10 Barney VHS tape? Obviously, it's not going to sell for $1,000. But ScoutIQ is pretty smart, and these triggers are pretty simplified. And what actually is going on, I can tell you, 99% I'm correct on this, but I know it's going to compare against the used buy box first because that's the most important thing for us FBA sellers. Then if that's not there, it's going to go to FBA slot 1. Then it's going to go to use slot highest. And again, I could be wrong on that, but that's the way I would have it work, because most important, second most important, third most important, percent off Amazon. This should override these 3, because if this is $12 and used buy box is 14, who's going to buy a used buy box for 14 when they could buy it from Amazon for 12? And so what this is going to do is it's going to subtract $1.20, which is 10% off of 12. So now it's going to show your profit $1.20 minus whatever profit you would have if you sold it at $12, if that makes sense. So it's going to discount it. It's going to price it at $11.80 and show you the profit for $11.80. So there's a little bit of stuff going on behind the scenes, because it's like what happens first in here. And Caleb Roth is smart enough and altruistic enough. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but he wants the best for his customers. So he makes these fall in line accordingly. At least that's how I would do it. And I know that's how it works, because I've looked at the screen. Sometimes I look at the screen and I try to see what actually is going on, because you kind of want to know what's going on before you like take your eyes off of it. Video games, didn't do this one. So video games, I think everyone can sell video games. So I'm just gonna. I don't know what ranks are for video games. I don't know if they're worse or better, but I'm pretty sure in comparison to DVDs and CDs. Did I do music? Yeah, I did do music. Minimum rank 1. Keep in mind, if you put 0 rank, it's gonna. 0 rank means it's never sold. It's without a rank, I believe. So FBA slot 1, we'll just make these the exact same. And actually, I don't want it to compare to used highest. Maybe like used 3. See, this is where it comes into where I should have more than a few triggers. I should have more than one trigger for sure. I should probably do this as 1. Worst case scenario, are we making profit on it? So now it's going to go, I believe this is how it worked. It's going to compare buy box, then FBA slot, then used slot, and Amazon. The discounted price off Amazon will always override it if Amazon's on the listing. So I believe that's how it's going to work. Because the used buy box isn't always available. Amazon's API doesn't always give us access to that. Hopefully I'm not screwing things up by putting this use slot as 1. I don't want it to default to that, but I believe it goes 1, 2, 3. So hopefully it actually does that. If not, I'm going to be getting really good stuff, because if I'm making profit off the low merchant, I'm definitely making profit on FBA. So those are the triggers I just made for Leanne. And so now I'll change this to Leanne to remind myself. Cost per pound, you should probably put 25 cents. I get around 22 cents a pound, but we'll just keep that the same. Technically, what I could do is I could like triple this, which I actually might do. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Because I'm having these shipped to me. So I'm going to be paying twice as much with media mail. So I'm probably paying around, I don't know what I'm paying. I feel like I'm paying between 30 and 50 cents a pound though. So I'm going to calculate inbound shipping fees twice, because she's shipping them to my lister and then my lister shipping them to Amazon. And then I got to pay my lister too. So it's a little bit, it probably helps a little bit to have a heftier cost per pound. Okay, great. That's it. I hope this video was valuable for you guys. Like, subscribe, dislike, unsubscribe, do what you got to do. Roamer the Roamer. Comment below with future content requests. I plan on making more videos of me just living my day, doing stuff like this, and providing value for you guys. Peace out.